Okay, so another way is to add a texture layer here in the brush to make it look like you're actually painting this thing. So the first thing you want to do is download a texture file that I put in the assignment. And I've got it here someplace, so I'm going to click File, Place Embed, and I go find it here amongst my stuff. Looks like this. All right, and you want to make that at least as big as the image, something like that. And I click the Accept button. Now here's the texture, but I want to put it underneath everything I've been working on. Okay, so what we're going to do is use the clipping mask technique to paint on this thing to have the texture come through, and you'll see what happens here. So over here, before we get going, make sure you look at your fill and your stroke square and click this box below it here. This resets the colors so they're just black and white, not any weird shades. Next thing you do is you come over here to the layer that you've been working with and select it, and then come down to this button here in the bottom of the layer panel, and this is the layer mask. But what you want to do is press the Alt key and then click the layer mask button, and you get a black square. Now make sure that you have the black square highlighted, and what happens is the texture shows through, and since you have a black mask, you want to make sure that your color over here is white, because when you paint it, it'll show through. So the next step is to go get a brush tool. Now I've already got this thing selected, but what you want to do is come up here to your brush library and find a very broad, kind of a speckle brush, and play around with this one here. You might have to try a few before you find one that you like. So like I say, I've already got this brush that looks like this. And I just go ahead and make sure your flow up here is 100 and your opacity is 100. And then I just start painting through. And then here comes my image. Now, you notice that the edge looks kind of rough, like maybe strokes on a paintbrush, and that's what you want. And you're not really wanting to paint the entire canvas. You just want to paint the main part of your image. You might even leave some spots kind of open, like you didn't quite finish it. And I'll come down here and get her. So at this point, it's just kind of an artistic approach how you want to do this. You know, maybe get part of it, and I'm leaving part of the background open, so I still have the texture like I'm still working on it. So you could leave it kind of like that if you want. I think I'm happy with that. So once I'm done with this, I would go ahead and merge the visible layers, like so. And then I'd come up here to image, canvas size, and then make this 10 inches to fit in a 10-inch frame, and 8 inches. So I'm 10 by 8. I click OK. And I've got that border around there like we've been working on. I come over here to an adjustment layer, solid color. Maybe pick off a color that kind of matches one of the colors in your drawing, and make sure you put that underneath. And there you go. The last step, click the type tool. I'd probably use black, maybe about a 14 point. And right here in the bottom corner, I would just type my name. And again, make sure the type layer is above everything, and use your move tool to position it over here someplace like that. All right. So that's the effect. I call it the digital watercolor. And good luck with that.